When more than one person hears the exact same note, group of notes, melody, same pitches, same volume, same expression, one can feel heartbroken. The other can feel romantic. Neither is wrong. Somebody else could feel edgy. And once you understand why that happens, you will never write the same way again. If we haven't met yet, I'm EP Archer, and I help musicians and songwriters stop overthinking, break through blocks fast, and finally finish the music they started. If you've been confused about why your music lands the way it does, this episode will give you a completely different way to think about it. So have you ever played something for a friend before, sung something on your instrument, whatever your modus operandus is, but you share it with a friend, and it's something that, like, when you created it and when you play it, when you sing it, like, it wrecks you. Like, I know there's some songs that I've written for my musical that I literally can't get through them without crying. Like, it's this huge emotion, right? And there have been people I've shared things like that with that are like, yeah, cool. And there's been people that I've shared that with that have also cried, and people that did connect or didn't connect. So have you ever shared something like that before that was that emotional for you, and the other person they didn't get it, or it didn't resonate with them? Or if you ever written something that, like, the emotion, the core thing to you was like devastating and dark, dystopian, and somebody else is like, yeah, that's a banger, like, right? Or that slaps, or they interpret it in a way that seemingly is disconnected from how you created it. And when that happens, what are you left wondering? Do you immediately say, wow, they have no idea what they're doing? Or do you immediately go to self-criticism and say, oh my gosh, it didn't pull through, it didn't come through? Is something blocked in your writing? Is something broken? Or do you just have different emotional filters and different ways of being in the world? What exactly is it? And does it matter? Does it matter if you create something that wrecks you and you are like, this is it, right? And you put it out there? There might be 100 different types of reactions. Does that matter to you? Do they all need to match yours? And that question is answered by, are you writing for you, or are you writing for your audience? And of course, if you're someone who wants to put your music out to be heard, or develop a following, or to make it successful, then you have to consider the audience. But we all know that delicate balance of when we're too much into what the audience needs and we lose ourself. Our authenticity gets trapped under this box or this format or this expectation, and then creativity slowly dies. So a famous example that is one of my favorites is Greg Laswell covering Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And I don't know if I've mentioned that yet in this podcast, but it literally, I feel like it's a masterclass in cover songs. So we all know, like, the original Girls Just Want to Have Fun, like bouncy, like 80s retro. If you just want to, like, shake to it and move around. And Mr. Laswell hears this and comes up with this just dark, sad, somber, I don't know, whatever emotion you want to put on it. I love it. I feel like it's longing, it's pining. If you haven't heard it yet, check it out. But the sonic vehicle that he's using basically changes everything. You know, people like cry when they hear the song, and it almost reminds me of, if you think of Ken in the Barbie movie when he's super sad, I'm just Ken. And it's like, we're all like laughing at Ken and like kind of, you know, in this other space with how he feels. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, I know how Ken feels. And then dang, like I've felt that way too. And we're just like, we've got I'm Knuff, you know, sweatshirts and hoodies and award-winning performances and all of that, even though it's a movie about women empowerment, right? The dichotomy, I could go on. That's something you could write a song about right there if you're looking for an idea today. But being able to feel how Ken felt, that is kind of akin to the same sort of like, it's like that emotion from I'm lost in the woods, you know, from Frozen 2. And Greg really captures it with the Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And it's almost like this sad dude that's like, well, they want to have fun and they're out there doing it. And meanwhile, I'm here playing the piano. It's the same notes. It's the same melody, same harmony, all the things, right? But he really executes on that. and captures the emotional weight. And I think if you're in a space of being with the emotion that you want to have, feel, and express, that it comes through in your choices of tempo, in the way that you sing, in that energetic signature. And that might sound a little bit woo-woo, but I could play you the same exact song in the same tempo, all the same, and feel differently, and you would feel that. And then there are other sonic tools we have in our toolkit to expand on that, to be able to hone in on that, and to be able to wire it into, let's say, the harmony, maybe a reharmonization that features sevenths and ninths, as opposed to just straight triads. Maybe it's a revoicing, right? That opens up the voicing and the sound for more space, for more feeling. And so you can have the same thing sounding aggressive or freedom or trapped. Same music. What are you going to create? What is it that you, first of all, intend? And do you mind how people take it? Do you want them to feel the same way you felt? Or just like, hey, if you're feeling something, high five. Like, I'm with you, right? I felt something, you felt something, let's do it, right? Because it's maybe not always that specific, but maybe if you're writing in the context of an album or a show or a concept piece, or a musical, maybe there is an intended emotion for the audience to feel, to take them on that journey, that hero's journey, the arc. And our lives are like that. Overall, that story, that journey, that art, that tension and catharsis, and each tiny piece of music that we create is a microcosm of that larger journey and that arc. And we listen to music because we want to feel, but also we want to go somewhere in that arc. And maybe that is really important for the work that you're doing. It's not like your job is to control the emotion, but creating the conditions around the emotion to facilitate it, to allow space for people to be able to connect to it, that definitely is our job as writers. It's not like you're responsible for every listener's response, but you are responsible for having yourself, your authenticity, your emotion, and putting that in, being honest and true to who you are. The specificity of your feeling gives listeners room to bring their own. And vague music is going to create a vague response. And maybe that's fun sometimes, right? Maybe we just need to bop it out to some lo-fi and leave space for how people feel. I am all for that. I am all for a spacious vehicle that can go wherever someone needs to go, that can be filled in by collaboration. That in and of itself can offer a huge value. But when you're aiming for specific creation, that specific felt music can create personal responses, different for each person, but real for all of them. And that is the whole point. So if you want to try to apply this today, pick one sound in your current project, one instrument, one loop, one vocal line, and ask, what does this feel like? Is this the feeling I want? If yes, build from it. If no, find ways to express it, to tweak it, to change it, to connect it deeper. One sound, that's the whole exercise. Because when you stop fighting the fact that people feel things differently, you can relax into your specificity. Your authentic truth creates space for their authentic truth, which can be totally different. And I love that about music. Let's go from saying we need to please an audience or we have to tailor our music to a style or a genre, and let's just communicate within the confines we've given ourselves, whether it's a genre, whether it's a song form, whether it's a melody, a harmonic structure, a note, a line. Go find yours today and try that out. Are you ready to stop guessing and start writing music that lands without starting over or getting more gear? Come join us at Music Rebels. We can't wait to see you there, because you know what? Your best work is on the other side. And I'll see you there.